I was in Vienna taking a walking tour, and there was this street called One Judengasse, which is supposed to be where the Jewish ghetto, not the Jewish ghetto from World War II, but the Jewish ghetto for forever was, where all the Jews lived. And then there was no more. So I thought there would be a monument, a wonderful monument for the Jewish ghetto, a memorial of some kind. So when I get there, what is there? A funky dress shop. And I see this picture, and I don't usually take provocative pictures. And I saw the picture. I thought, this is really provocative, so I'll take the picture. And after I took the picture, I realized that a lot of people are not going to know whether that person is a person or whether that person is a mannequin. It is fake emotion. It is so provocative, fake provocative, and that's the image that I wanted to create. And the wind started blowing, and her skirt started lifting up, and I'm thinking, this is just incredible. And so I took the picture and called it One Judengasse, even though most people won't know what that means. But they do kind of realize that this is a little bit human and a little bit mannequin. And of course, it's all mannequin, which kind of surprises me when people at the end don't realize that. But the main point when I looked at it was, this is the first time I ever took a picture like that, where I use kind of physical provocation to make a statement about something in the picture. And if you look up One Judengasse, you'll make that connection. I wanted to leave in the woman mannequin. I mean, it's really a mannequin in the background because it looks like somebody's hanging out back there. I could have closed in even more, but I didn't do that. And also, I cut out, there was One Judengasse above that I put in some of the pictures, but it didn't let the balance work right. So I took that out, but I wanted to make sure that that mannequin hanging out in the background gave another example of like, what is this really? And I wanted that visual impact. The one thing that I wanted to talk about is a lesson I learned in photography from my cousin Stevie, who used to travel with me, and I used to use him as my photographic subject. I have a great picture of him in Boston when I was taking my photography class. I have pictures of him like shaking the naked mannequins because we saw it together and I thought it was really nice. But the main thing I learned from him, we were at a museum looking at photographs, and I had this habit of saying anything that wasn't a documentary photograph wasn't any good. It didn't make any difference what it was. It could be abstract. It could even be landscapes. If it didn't have people in it, I thought that photographer really wasn't doing the right thing. My cousin got so mad at me finally one day. He said, "You are never going to be good at your photography unless you begin to appreciate what other people do, what their skills are, what their talents are, why they choose to do what they do." So when I got my PhD, finally, I had to go through, I wanted to just do photographs, and someone said, "You're not getting an MFA, you're getting a PhD. Go through and learn about all these different styles of photography." And when I did, I became an appreciator of all these different styles and realized that mine probably is not even the most creative, might even be the least creative. It's good documentary, it's good history. I tried to make it as aesthetic as I can, but on the other hand, I really became a much better appreciator of photography. So in the context of taking pictures from the inside, people that you know, this was my mother's friend Dinah. And Dinah was, I don't know, maybe 4 feet 3 inches tall, but it wasn't because she was born that way. She had been taken to the United States and kept in a container. And the container was so small, this is the story that I heard, the container was so small that nothing grew right, and when she came back, they came here, they had to break all of her bones, and she never grew anymore. But anyway, I liked her a lot, and I wanted to take a picture of her. So I came in, I thought it was really dramatic to have her little body on this long couch with a picture of her younger in the picture, but I wanted her to smile. I said, "Dinah, why aren't you smiling? I want you to smile in the picture." And she said, "And I thought you said you want a picture of me, what I'm thinking, what my life was like." And I said, "Well, I do." And she said, "Well, that's not a smile. So let's take the picture the way that you said you wanted to take the picture, which is the way I see myself." And that's what I did. So sometimes it helps to talk a little bit and to be reminded that everything shouldn't look nice and happy if that's not the reflection of the person. That part of what I'm trying to do, and I think other photographers as well, is to get a picture of a person's experiences for their whole life in one picture, if it's possible to do that in a portrait. But that's what I think a good portrait should be. And in this case, Dinah had to remind me of it because I wanted, I think, in my childhood memories, to think that she was really happy and that she had a good time with my mother and that, you know, everything was hunky-dory, when really that wasn't true, and that was my childhood image of something. So she pulled me in as a photographer and she pulled me in as an adult, and that's exactly what is supposed to happen. Meanwhile, I look at the picture and it's just striking to me. And it's one of the few pictures that I took that was just horizontal, totally horizontal. Most of the pictures are not that way, and they're all bigger, and this is spectacular in that way, because she looks so little and her shoes look so big.